So today's video is gonna have a lot of Kaido in it, but it's not really going to be a Kaido video. It's just after last chapter and what we were seeing from Kaido. I thought that this video would really, shed some light, and it's also just something I thought about after reading and thinking about the chapter for a while, and I haven't really seen anyone seriously speculate this, so here I am doing it. Now, unless you can't put, one and one together from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about Advanced Conquerors Haki and what that has to do with Kaido last chapter. Now, of course, before I get into this, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe. And if you want to watch any of my other videos, just keep in mind that I always put a little spoiler tag so that you know if you watching this video would spoil you or not, especially if you are not up to date. Now that that's out of the way, Advanced Conquerors Haki is a topic that's been, highly discussed, especially since, we've been starting to see advanced armament, advanced observation, and this being Luffy's, growth pattern in the new world. But it's always been, a bit vague as to what is Advanced Conquerors, what does that entail, how would that look? And I think that now we are starting to see glimpses of what it is. Of course, all the time before Oda explains, a whole power system, he will hint at it. It happened, for quite a bit with Armament Haki. Rayleigh did the thing with the King's Lock, and there was a moment in Marineford with the admirals, those in Ruskaina. Rayleigh did the thing with the elephant. And, if you watch the anime as well, Big Mom also did something similar in Whole Cake Island, but it wasn't in the manga. Then finally we get to Wano and it's explained. Same thing with Haki, literally before Rayleigh explained it, so many instances in the war and in times before of different kinds of Haki being displayed, but it not being fully fleshed out. And I think that one thing that's important to keep in mind here with all these parts and that, and especially Haki that wasn't, that was a bit mysterious before it was explained, is that there are two instances where it's either explicitly shown that this is some mystical power that Oda will explain to us, and then there's some cases where it's not really explained, but it could be someone's devil fruit or linked to this other power which we know they have, right? So someone's armament before it was explained could be the Tekai from the Rokushiki. So which one is it really? So there's subtle moments and then there's more explicit moments, and I think the same thing is true for the Advanced Haki as well. Now, why do I think that Kaido has Advanced Haki and what he's been displaying it is because, looking at his attacks, right? And I think this applies to two of his attacks he's shown us so far. One is the attack from last chapter 992, where there was thunder, or as the official said, lightning coming out of his mouth that was destroying the ground. And this chapter where there's the invisible slashes. Now, I'd expect from someone like Kaido, if he did have a lightning-based attack as a dragon, his lightning-based attack would be a bit more devastating, a bit more clear, just like the way his boar breath is. His boar breath isn't something that's just kind of like, fire just spitting a bit randomly. It is very clear that this is danger. Last chapter, we didn't get the feeling that that attack was very dangerous at all, or that it posed much of a threat. Just kind of avoid it and you'll be fine. This chapter as well, it wasn't really as explicitly said. There was nothing that showed it. So I figure that this has to be kind of something else. Also, I have a bit of a bias because of my video that I made that Kaido is an ancient devil fruit, has an ancient devil fruit, not a mythical one. But because of that, I'm starting to think, and I'm starting to say that it could be Advanced Armament Haki, not only because of what I said about Kaido, but we've seen some similar feats from Big Mom where she does start using a bit of fire attacks and lightning-based attacks in Whole Cake Island. Now, of course, this is a bit more subtle because you could just say it's always been because of Zeus and Prometheus, but in some panels, in some scenes, she does use those attacks without Zeus and Prometheus, and again, you could just say this is a bit of an inconsistency, and that would just fall under the more subtle types of proofs or of foreshadowings that they are. And last but not least, we have the good old Shanks, because way back in the pre-time skip, when Shanks met Whitebeard, in that very memorable scene, Shanks parks next to Whitebeard and he starts getting on the ship, and of course, these guys are like, yo, if you can't, you guys who are new on the crew, you better go inside, you can't handle a man like this. They're like, what? And before they can do anything, they start passing out. People start passing out, and Shanks is coming. Every step he takes, people are just passing out. And that's when we knew that Shanks has some power which makes him so cool. Later on, we found out more people have it. But in that scene, as he's walking up and people are passing out, we can see that Shanks' Haki is doing physical damage to Whitebeard's ship. So there is a level of Conquerors Haki you can reach in which you are able to do physical damage. Now in that case, you could say that Shanks' Advanced Conquerors is using wind pressure to break Whitebeard's ship a bit. In this chapter 993, you could say that Kaido's Advanced Conquerors Haki is creating slashes. You know, of course, this one is a bit more kind of direct as an attack. It's not kind of a general thing. But I think it still falls under the same category and just kind of how you use it. In that case, Shanks wasn't really trying to destroy Whitebeard's ship completely. Just, you know, kind of, you know, posing himself as a bit of a threat and not a joke when he entered the ship. But like I was saying, Advanced Conquerors Haki can take many different, you know, forms, you know, in different elements and stuff like that. And of course, one thing is that with Luffy, we haven't seen it because maybe it hasn't been super explicit. I think there's also a lot of implicit implications about Advanced Conquerors Haki as well, or just Conquerors Haki in general, in which it does affect its surroundings. In that, you know, we've seen Luffy clash with Chinjao, Doflamingo and Katakuri, and in those cases, apart from some people passing out, there have been, you know, literal, like, the surroundings seem to be kind of getting agitated in the Colosseum. You know, there's a bit of rubble, there's the water getting agitated and the waves being created. Of course, with Doflamingo and Katakuri, there was that bit of lightning against some rubble, and I feel like this is just, you know, kind of like the weaker side of advanced, no, not really advanced, but just Conquerors Haki. A bit of the weaker side of that. And, you know, as you get to the stronger side is when you get to Yonkos who meet and the sky literally splits in half. When you can affect the natural kind of environment to that scale, then you are on a different level. So is this a new technique that Luffy would have to learn? Or is this something that would just naturally come with having just having Conquerors Haki for a long time? I'm really not sure. We'll just have to kind of see how it goes because, yeah. And again, other questions I probably have, which you guys can think about is, you know, do people choose these, you know, elemental abilities? Does Kaido choose to do lightning one time he rolls and then do invisible slashes another time he rolls? Or is it completely random? He just rolls and whatever comes out, right? Is it one or the other? Also, do you have a kind of affinity to some or to one or to several? Can you change it up? And how accurately can you control these? It's just questions to think about. And the last thing I did want to mention is just about Luffy's growth and how, you know, Luffy learning this will, you know, impact him as a character and his strength and how strong he gets. I don't think that this has proven itself just yet to be very good in a one-on-one fight of two people who are kind of like on that level, similar level fighting. It seems like it's more, once again, useful to, you know, opponents who are ganging up on you, group opponents, just like the way the passing out is useful. I think this is just a bit more useful in the case that if it's opponents that, you know, don't pass out, then your Conquerors Haki does have a physical effect, you know, for slightly stronger opponents that can actually hit them, whether they have, you know, also good Haki to withstand yours or not. Perfect case is Kaido and the Scabbards. I think Kaido's Conquerors Haki that, you know, knocks people out wouldn't affect the Scabbards, but an attack like this using, you know, Advanced Conquerors Haki would. But this is just my video letting you know my thoughts. If you think otherwise, if you think I'm just wrong and I'm just making things up because, you know what, I just like to make things that don't make sense, then tell me if this is just absurd. If you think I'm right, please tell me other thoughts you might have. Try to answer some of the questions I posed, and, you know, we can have a conversation from there. As always, guys, please like the video if you like the video and subscribe for more of my videos. If you know someone who needs to hear the truth about what happened with Kaido, if someone else is confused, I think I saw Sawyer's video, he mentioned that it could be Haki, so I mean, that's the closest I saw. But if anyone else needs to hear the truth, please share this video with them. If you have time, watch one more video. If not, thank you for watching this video thus far, guys. This is King KZ. I'll see you in the next one.